Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday to you. This is Krista from Almost a Green Acre, residing in New Brunswick, Canada, Zone 5B. Today, I want to do a quick product review, and I also wanted to talk about a disaster story that I have. I'm part of an open collaboration. That's hashtag Let's Share Our Plant Success or Disaster Stories, that is hosted by Janita, and her channel is Janita's BF Well Wishes Gardening. So I'm going to link her channel in my description, and the hashtag channel. Of course, you guys can locate that. Actually, I was there this morning and I didn't see my channel listed there, so maybe it takes a little bit for YouTube to pick up on that. So anyway, today what I want to talk about is a few videos ago I showed where I had built this lattice work here. And it's really nice when we can incorporate our own personal style into a gardening project. And I'm not done with this project, but what I wanted to share here is the fact that I ended up going shopping for manila rope. And manila rope is, I live on the East Coast, and I know manila rope to be used in marine application, and fishermen out on the ocean use that type of rope. And anyway, they didn't have that rope, and I ended up getting Sisal rope. And just going to try and see if I can get a little bit closer here. This line here that goes from here all the way over, a few videos ago I had a shower curtain hanging off of that. And if I just step back and show you what the wind has done to that rope, it was just a little tiny curtain. I mean, nothing spectacular, but look how that rope has stretched. So it's super important, everybody's location is different. And this particular area that I live in, on this front part of my lawn, which faces the south, is extremely windy. So if you look around, this is my neighbor on my west side. He's got a cabin over there. And then there's a whole bunch of trees here, which sort of, they border my whole property. There's my house. And so the house is sort of nestled in the trees. And then there's the east side of the property over there. The north side, of course, is trees. East side is trees. Well, all these trees, most of them are not on my property, except for right over there on the east south-facing side. I've got a few trees. So this property is actually at a very windy location. Let me step back, and it's a bit windy here this morning, so you're going to be able to have a look. And you can see the curtains blowing inside the raised garden beds. And so that's what I'm going to share with you today, this disaster. I spent a lot of time actually stapling these sisal ropes up to the top 2x4 up there. And but what I originally bought for the stapling was what's called a fence staple. And this is what it looks like right here. There we go. And except for it was really difficult to hammer the staple into the knot at the top. Each piece that comes down has a knot at the very top, and it was really difficult for me to staple that. So I ended up going back to the hardware store and on one of my trips, and I got the longest staple, which happens to be a 9/16 staple that fits into my electric stapler. And I'll just show you how long they are so you guys can get an idea, as opposed to me just telling you 9/16. So there's the staple. You can see how long it is, right? It's pretty long. And so all this cloth that I'm using for shade protection and stuff to the peppers, I stapled up there really well, as well as the sisal rope at the top where it's all knotted. It's knotted at the top, and then down here it's knotted. I'll just go in quickly and show you where the staples are. So there's, you know, 2 or 3 staples per each section. So it took me a long time to do that, not to mention that as I came down, I had to knot all of these, right? So, I mean, it's strong, but I don't trust the staples that are in there, even though they're the longest ones that my electric stapler will hold. With this wind and the fact that I want to trellis, you know, indeterminate cherry tomatoes going up there that are growing there, once the tomatoes get attached to that sisal rope, that's going to add weight. And then with the wind, as you can see it blowing around here, I don't believe that that's going to hold. So I'm going to have to come up with a different solution, which I will, you know, share in a different video. But I just wanted to show you guys that, you know, yes, it's still a great idea to do what I want to do and build my own lattice, but I chose the wrong rope for the wrong area. Now, maybe you live in an area where, you know, you don't have high winds. That's not me. And so then I went out, and over here at this new garden bed, I ended up picking up some nylon rope. And I don't know what I was thinking. Honestly, I didn't do enough research. So anyway, it's spanning across this distance, like I said in the video yesterday, both ways. I'm actually going to have a third one in the back there. So I bought this nylon rope, and as it turns out, it's too stretchy as well. So really, in the area that I'm living, and because I have such high winds in this location, you really have to do, you know, do the math when it comes to what's practical for your area. You can see some of these ornamental grasses. Well, maybe I'll get out here. Yeah, the one in the front, so you can see them blowing. This will give you a good idea. Yesterday's video, due to the tropical storm Beryl, came through and dumped rain on us, heavy rain, beginning Wednesday night all through Thursday. So yesterday in the video, all those ornamental grasses were pretty much laying flat on the ground. And that's one of the things I love about the Karl Forrester ornamental grasses. They're just so resilient. As soon as the wind came up and they dried out, they jumped back up again. So you can see them blowing around. Excuse me. Get a little bit closer here with the sun behind me. So see how windy it is, guys? This is just, and this is a light wind. Yeah. That's my product review, is the Karl Forrester ornamental grasses. So this is a little bit too much in this one little section. I'm going to divide probably all 3 of these Karl Forrester ornamental grasses, because I want them to basically go all along there. Well, one's going to go in there, I guess, but these 2 aren't doing the greatest. But I want them to go all the way along. And not just because I absolutely love the contrast of the vertical gardening look and ornamental grasses, but, you know, it was meant to grow thick and shelter some of these hostas that are basically in front of it, because once the sun comes up, you know, I have all south-facing sunshine here. So they're amazing. They're beautiful. They add a different textural component. That one up there in the front is, well, I guess all 4 of these ones are almost 4 feet tall. So they're really pretty. So yeah, add some ornamental grasses to your gardens, guys. And gardens don't have to be drab and boring, you know, one row after another. You can certainly add your flair to it, that's for sure. And then I can look out, you know, any window in the front of my house and take a look at the ornamental grasses, because I leave them up even when fall, winter comes. I don't cut them back until spring, and I can see what direction the wind is blowing, right? So anyway, back to this disaster. I wrote down on a piece of paper, not to mention the time that it's taken me here too, to put all this fabric up as a shade cloth and do the sisal rope and all that sort of thing. Probably at least 2 days to do that. So the cost of the sisal rope was $7.99 each, and that was for a 50-foot length. So anyway, I ended up getting 4 of them, and to the tune of well, $32, I guess. Yeah, so and it's not working. And I don't have enough. So there's one side. I had meant to do the other side over there as well, and I was going to go across the top. So that's a super expensive proposition, especially when you don't have the right application of rope. And then you see all this fabric that's blowing around. Well, the only one that really stayed up is the one that has the design in it, and it allows the rain to, it's bowing a little bit, but it allows the wind to flow through it, and allows the rain to come through. So if you can find lace curtains, that sort of thing, at your secondhand store or whatever, garage sale, yard sale, estate sale, there's all kinds of different places. It doesn't matter if you live in the city or the country. I mean, everybody's got secondhand stores. Get some darker ones, get some beige, get some brown. There's definitely different color, or dye them yourself. I got some black dye in the house. I could probably dye it if I wanted to, but I'm definitely not going to be doing that this year. So the mistake I made here, time-consuming mistake, is that I put up that dark shade cloth right in the middle. And again, I stapled that sucker down at the top really well. This is the only side that's holding. The other side is completely ripped off from those staples, and it was up there good. So that's got to come down, and I'm going to take this other one that's the same as this one that's already up, and I'm going to staple that at the top for a little bit of shade cover. I'm taking this one down. So if you live in a windy spot, I just recommend not only using the lace type of curtains as an idea, as a shade cover, especially if you're in a windy spot. Now on my west side, you can see that these other curtains, which are fairly, they're fairly, I don't know they're nylon, I guess, and certainly the wind is blowing through them, but look at that sisal rope up there, just on this very lightweight curtain that's on there. It's bowing it. So it's not a good application. So I did the math. So this sisal rope and the nylon rope and the fence staples, and then I had to go back, of course, and get the 9/16 staples. I'm at almost $82. So, I'm sure you guys all live on a budget and whatnot, and $82 is something that I could have put into the proper kind of rope, I guess, or looked a little bit harder for the manila rope or something like that. Probably what I'm going to end up going with, though, is what's called, because I live in a very windy spot here, or the garden's in a windy spot, I'm going to end up going with the probably called, it's polyethylene, I think it's called. It's a man-made fabric or whatever, but it's low stretch, and people that climb on rocks and mountains and that sort of thing, use it as climbing wire. And before I leave today, I just want to quickly show you, I didn't get rid of any of this goldenrod. There is underneath here, there's just a tree that was cut down and left on the property. And I wanted to clean it up, and I didn't do that 3 or 4 weeks ago because a family of robins made their home in there, and I didn't have the heart to go in and start disturbing all that. They've since moved on. I did see a couple of other birds checking it out, so it's sort of a hiding place for birds, that's for sure. But anyway, I'm going to take you around back here and around the side of the property, and I just want you guys to have a look at this before, because I forgot to show it to you yesterday. So all this lawn over here that's not been cut, all those big clumps of green that you see that are standing really tall, All of this, guys, is goldenrod. That's all goldenrod right there. So they're just starting, they're budding, they're about to start to bloom. You can see some of them are just starting, but in about a week or 2 weeks' time, this whole side yard, the whole backyard is going to be full of blooming goldenrod. And I'm just trying to get to the back here on the north side so you guys can have a look. This whole property is just polluted with goldenrod. Yeah, here we go. So this is the north side, my backyard, and you can just see it's all goldenrod. And I'm going to do a video in the near future to show you what I'm going to be doing with the goldenrod. Yeah. And in, like I said, about 2 weeks' time, that whole field and that patch out front of the property is all going to be in bloom. So I just wanted to give you guys a contrast of what it's going to look like in a couple of weeks. And one of the beautiful things about goldenrod is the bees absolutely love it. And in all these trees around me here, I'm going to have to hazard a guess that there must be 3 or 4 different hives of mason bees. And mason bees, they don't get the hype like the honeybees do because they don't produce honey. But boy, are they workers, and you really want mason bees around your property. And if I can find it, I'll share a link in the description of how to build your own mason bee hive and go from there. So thank you very much for joining me today. I wish you a wonderful day, evening, weekend, and thank you very much. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit that like button on the way out. And of course, as always, thank you so much for all of your comments and your interaction in the comments and under the community tab and that sort of thing. So you're going to find that I'm going to be doing 2 new playlists as well. One's going to be success disaster stories in the garden, and the other one's going to be product review. So that was my product review about Karl Forrester and the Sisal rope, nylon rope being stretchy. So definitely consider that when you're putting it in your garden application. Take care, and until next time. Bye-bye for now.